Welcome to Malvern Theatre Company Online and episode 2 of Missing Paul. Our play is a collaboration between 6 local writers: Horrie Leek, Pam Christie Birkett, Alison Campbell Rate, David Collins, Chris Hodson and Alison Knight. It was intended as a diversion during the height of the corona pandemic earlier in the year, and Malvern Theatre agreed that it deserved an audience, so this is a world premiere. The writers knew each other through community theatre. However, in writing the play there was no overall plot laid out, and each could take the storyline in whatever direction she or he chose, using their gift of imagination to the fullest. Well, they certainly let their imaginations run wild. Twists and turns, red herrings, false impressions. You, our audience, are in for an intriguing journey. Before I introduce our cast, just to let you know that they're all practicing safe social distancing, recording from their own homes. And as in the rehearsed play readings that Malvern has been presenting on stage recently, there are only a few props and an indication of the setting of each scene. So, firstly, let me introduce Jessica Simons.
Hi everyone, I'm playing Kate Carmichael, Paul and Karen's daughter.
Alison Knight.
Hello, I'm playing Karen Carmichael, Paul's wife, and mother to Trevor and Kate.
Ryan Farbush.
Hi, I'll be playing Trevor Carmichael, Paul and Karen's son, and the brother of Kate.
Chris Hodson.
Hi there, I'm playing Arthur Murphy and a passerby.
Rick Birkett.
I'll be playing Gregory Harmon.
Pam Christie Birkett.
Hi, I'll be playing the mysterious Madeline.
Alison Campbell Rate.
Hi there, I'll be playing Sarah Noakes.
And David Collins.
Hi there, I'll be playing Paul Carmichael. Karen is my wife, and Kate and Trevor are my children.
The play is set in various locations, and so we have a narrator, Mandy Murray, who will explain where the action is taking place, and as necessary describe the physicality of the action. So, let your imagination take flight. Be ready to discover, is Paul really missing? Who is missing him? Is he alive or not?
Outside the gate of Karen and Paul's house.
I've tried. I've no idea where they've gone. Just disappeared. Of course I did. I'm back here now. Still no sign. Well, golly gee, Marcus, why didn't I think of that? No shit, Sherlock. Yeah. Okay. No. I'll call you when I have something to report. Bye.
Madeline stands, hand on hip for a moment, looking pensive, then is struck by a thought and scrolls through her phone, looking for a number, but is interrupted by an elderly passerby, whistling a tune, who tips his hat to Madeline.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Excuse me, I don't suppose you live in this neighbourhood, do you?
Nope, can't say I do.
Oh, well, thanks anyway. Have a nice day.
Sorry I can't help you. I'm just here to water the plants and feed the fish.
Here, in this house?
Yeah, they're on a little holiday and asked me to look after things. I like to do it too. Nice family. Had a hard time of it and I'm glad to help. I've got my own little veggie patch too that they let me have a corner of the yard for. Best year I've had so far for the zucchini especially. Would you like one? I've got plenty. My wife's starting to get a little bit tired of them.
Oh, yes, thank you. That would be lovely. I don't suppose you know where the family has gone on holiday to? I was so hoping to catch up with them. I'm an old friend and I'm only here for a few days.
Well, let's see. I think they mentioned something about a beach. I think they've gone to a house somewhere they like to go every summer. Not sure why they go there now, though. Bit cold for the beach, I reckon.
Yes, I'd say so. Thank you so much for your help. And the zucchini.
You're welcome. Good luck to you.
The passerby exits back through the gate to the garden. Madeline watches him go and then gets out her phone again, makes a call.
I want you to search all property records in the name Paul or Karen Carmichael. Yes, I know they own a few. This one is near a beach, probably not a rental. Could be just a shack. Gotta go. Call me as soon as you have something.
As Madeline exits, we return to the summer house. Trevor enters to find Karen asleep in the chair by the door. She wakes to see him staring at the knife across her lap.
Trevor, sweetie, it's okay. I just got a little nervous at some noises last night. It's fine.
Trevor wordlessly moves to give her a hug, then takes the knife from its hiding place under the chair and puts it in the drawer. They exchange a tired, loving look.
Coffee?
How did you know? Is Kate up yet?
Oh, she's still out like a light. Got to admire her capacity to sleep through anything.
It's a skill, all right. I certainly wish I had it.
Did you get much sleep?
A bit. I might have a little nana nap a bit later on, though, if you can hold the fort for a while.
Why don't you go now? While Kate's still asleep and the house is quiet.
Well...
Go on. I'll keep an eye on things.
Okay. I'm way too tired to argue. Thanks, sweetheart. Trevor, I've been wanting to say, it's so wonderful to have the old you back with us again. I love you.
I love you too, Mum.
Karen exits. Trevor makes himself a coffee and sits in the chair recently vacated by Karen. He picks up a family photograph from the small side table and looks at it, carefully brushes away some dust and replaces it carefully on the table. He drains the last dregs of coffee from the cup and stands and takes it to the sink. He draws the curtain slightly to see out the window. Kate enters loudly, startling him out of his reverie.
Morning!
Oh, shit! You scared the crap out of me.
Bit tense, are we? Too much caffeine?
Can you keep it down? Mum's trying to get some sleep.
She's still in bed. She's usually the first one up.
She didn't have a good night.
Is she okay?
Yeah, she's fine. Just didn't sleep very well. I said she should go back to bed for a while.
Do you want some toast?
Yeah, thanks.
His attention is suddenly caught by something he catches a glimpse of through the curtains, but he doesn't want to alarm Kate. He hesitates for a moment and then quietly goes to the drawer and gets out the knife that Karen had and slides it into his pocket, unnoticed by Kate, who is searching for jam.
Strawberry? I'm sure there's some here somewhere.
Yep, sounds good. Or honey will do if you can't find it. You know, if you didn't tear everything out of the cupboard and just cram it back in again, you'd be able to find stuff.
Just because you're a neat freak, I have my own systems.
Yeah, I've seen your closet. Katie, I'm just going to go out and get the toolbox from the car. My bed's a bit squeaky and I think I can fix it if I find a spanner.
Okay. Don't be too long, though. Toast isn't far off. I'll pour you a bit of OJ too.
Cool, thanks. Back in a tick.
Trevor exits through the door, closing it behind him. Kate hums softly as she prepares the food. Toast done, she goes to the door to call Trevor in.
Trevor! Bracky! Get it while it's hot! Trevor! Come and get your toast! Trevor? Mom!
The scene shifts to Murphy and Harmon's room the same day. Harmon is working on the laptop. Murphy is still pacing. There is evidence of food having been eaten, empty takeaway containers, etc.
What if she backs out, decides to go to the cops instead?
She won't. She can't. Not now she knows what's at stake.
How can you be so sure?
Think, Murphy. She won't risk it. We saw her email. She's desperate. She exposes us, we expose her.
How'd she get the photos anyway? She must be stupid to left that stuff loose.
Up until yesterday, she didn't even know the photos existed. Let's just say I acquired them.
What? You mean you set her up?
Of course. To get her right where she now finds herself. Vulnerable. And ready to make a deal. She's not used to feeling like that. It's really quite amusing, the thought of seeing her squirm. She'll pay. Don't you worry.
It's feeling kind of personal, Harmon. This is not just about money, is it?
There's debts and debts. There's loyalty and there is, believe it or not, my friend, a certain kind of honour, even for me. As far as money goes, yes, we have debts and I've found a way to get someone else to pay them. Madeline Scott knows where to get her hands on money. She's done it before and she'll do it again. Only this time she doesn't get to benefit. We do. And instead of screwing someone else over in the process, she'll be getting screwed over. Because what she doesn't yet realise is another score is in the course of being settled. 2 birds, 1 stone.
What score?
Doesn't concern you. What does concern you is that when this is over, you and I will finally get to go our separate ways. So, any complaints?
No, mate. No complaints.
I want to go over the surveillance footage of the safe house again and check that phone tracker. I have people on the ground keeping tabs on her, but I'm not taking any chances. She might be vulnerable, but she's also dangerous, and I don't want to lose sight of her.
You're the boss. Boss.
We now find Madeline in the street a short time after we saw her last. She's standing near a rubbish bin, holding a takeaway coffee, reading something on her phone and looking very rattled.
Bastard. Those photos. Now, what the hell? Shit. Tell me you've got something for me, Marcus. An address, anything. Phillip Island. 12 Anchorage Road. Got it. I can be there in a couple of hours. What? No, I don't need anyone to come with me. Because this is just a routine check to make sure they're okay. What? No, I don't know why they skipped town. Perhaps they just freaked out hearing about Paul after all this time. They're upset, that's all. That's why I need to find them. Reassure them everything's okay. Yes, I'm aware of the protocols about working alone, but this is not a big deal, trust me. Besides, Paul's a friend. We go way back. Look, Marcus, I'd advise you to just do your job, okay? The situation is complex, and you're not cleared for the detail. It's for your own good. You know, I'd hate to lose you, Marcus. I think you've got a real future. I hope you're hearing me. All right, then. I'll be in touch.
Madeline ends the call and begins to move off. She pauses to toss her coffee cup in the bin, then the zucchinis from her handbag. Then she considers the phone in her hand and tosses it in the bin too. She pulls another phone from a different pocket and walks off quickly, punching in numbers. This scene immediately follows on from the previous summer house scene. Lights go up on the kitchen, where Kate is looking out of the open door as before. There is still no sign of Trevor. Karen enters in a rush.
What is it? Are you all right? Where's Trevor?
He just popped out to get a spanner from the car, I think. I'm sorry, Mum. I called him to come and get his toast, and when he didn't come, I got nervous.
Oh, it's okay, love. We're all on edge. You know your brother. He's probably stopped to pick the dirt out of the tyres of the toothpick or line up the tools in the toolkit in length order.
or to shake out the floor mats. I'm sorry I woke you, Mum. Trev said you didn't sleep well.
I haven't slept well since your father disappeared. And now I can't sleep because he's almost back. I just wish I knew what was going on, Katie. I need to hear from him soon. I need to know he's safe, that we're all safe. Oh, you must be frozen. Close the door, love. Trevor will be in soon, and if he's not, we'll both go out and drag him in.
Okay.
Kate goes to close the door, but stops in her tracks and gestures frantically to Karen.
What? What's wrong?
Someone in the garage. I think there's someone in there with Trev.
What did you see?
I saw two heads pass by the window, the little window above the workbench. A woman, I think. What do we do?
Did it look like the woman you answered the door to yesterday? Was it that Madeline?
I'm not sure. I only caught a glimpse. Mum, what about Trevor?
Calm down. She's not going to hurt a kid. And if she does... Keep an eye on the garage door, Katie. Where's my phone? Where's my stupid phone?
Kate turns away from the door to help her look for the phone.
Is it in the bedroom? Are you going to call the police? But how long would they take to get here? We're right out of town, Mum. What about Trev? I think that we should...
The door suddenly opens behind them and two people enter, causing both Karen and Kate to jump and scream. It's Trevor and a woman, Sarah Noakes, from the neighbouring farm. She is wearing comfortable outdoor wear, farm boots, and carrying a basket. She is a chatty whirlwind and totally at ease. While she talks, we realise that she is gradually moving around the room as though she is checking it out.
Mrs. Noakes, oh good heavens, it's only you. I'm so sorry.
Trev, where have you been?
It's okay, Katie did. It's okay.
Well, that's the last time I'd bother making you breakfast.
Hello, love. Sorry to give you girls a fright. Gave him a fright too, it seems. He jumped like a lamb after it's been castrated. Oh, you want to be careful about carrying knives, young man, if you don't know how to use them. Now, my Bob is a dab hand with a knife, can whittle anything. You want some lessons in handling a knife, you can't go past my Bob. He's mending fences today, all day, in the paddock, just alongside where the main road is. He'll be checking out all the cars as they go by. Oh, he likes cars, does my Bob. He memorises number plates just for fun.
Does he?
Recognised your car when you came by last night. Reckons he knows your engine note. Well, now, I've just popped by with some eggs. I saw your lights on through the trees last night, and I said to Bob, those poor people probably haven't tasted a proper egg since they were here last summer. I'll just put them on the table, will I? Oh, the girls are popping them out like champions at the moment. Mind you, if you'd come here last month, I wouldn't have had an egg to spare for love nor money. Baking sponges by the dozen for the church fete I was. Oh, people queue up for them, you know. My sponges, book them in advance. Oh, the vicar copped a beauty in the eye the first year he was here. Tried to jump the queue. Oh, well. I always use 4 eggs. That was my grandmother's recipe. Now, she was a dab hand at making sponges. I have all her recipes, handwritten. Oh, what a cook.
It's very good of you, Mrs. Noakes.
Oh, call me Sarah. You've known me long enough, my dear. You and your parents before you. Always happy to keep an eye on things for you. So, you're all settled in? Need some milk? You probably didn't have time to do much in the way of grocery shopping on your way here, leaving in a rush like that.
Well, no, How do you know we left in a rush?
Besides, you could never have enough to fill up this young man, could you? My boys used to eat like there was no tomorrow. Now, don't go into the town, Karen. Bob and I can help you out with whatever you need. Whatever you need, Karen.
Mrs. Noakes, Sarah.
And
I don't understand.
Maybe Trevor here would like to help my Bob with the fences today. It would give him something to do, and they can both keep an eye on the cars together. You like cars, don't you, young man?
Yes.
And I bet you're pretty good at memorising number plates when you have to.
Yes, definitely, Mrs. Noakes.
Good man. Had your breakfast? No? Eat up then, and you'll find my Bob waiting for you through the belt of trees beyond the garage. He didn't want to come in. Bit shy, my Bob. We would never have tied the knot if I hadn't asked first. Now, take your phone with you, love, just in case. Bob's good with knives and fences, but not so good with these mobile phones. The buttons are too small for his fingers. I'll bring you both out some lunch. Can't have the troops starving, can we?
What about me?
Oh, well now, you, me and your mum are going to do a spot of carpentry together.
We are?
Yes.
Carpentry?
Your dad told me he was a little bit concerned about some rattling windows. So we're going to do the rounds of each room and make sure everything closes up tight and locks up tight.
Dad told you.
You've spoken to Paul. I don't understand any of this.
Mum, don't you see? Mr. and Mrs. Noakes know about Dad. They're here to help.
That's right. Me and Bob and a couple of others here and there.
Others?
Yes, some near and some far. For instance, I took a call earlier this morning from someone in your street with a very interesting story about some zucchinis.
Zucchinis?
Yeah, you know, those long green vegetables. No taste at all. Swell up after rain like a randy old bull. Oh, you're like my boys. They think their old mother is as funny as a wheel. Now, my dear, I'll tell you all about it over a nice cup of tea, and then we can get cracking on those windows. And while we're at it, we'll give the doors the once over too. According to my information, there won't be anything to worry about for the rest of the day. Gives us time to prepare. I had a quick look in the garage when I arrived. That's when I ran into young Trevor there. And we have all the tools we need. Now, don't you worry about a thing, Karen.
Sarah produces a small pistol from her basket and lays it on the table.
There are plenty of people looking out for you and your family. This house is perfectly safe.
It is now about midday of the same day. Sounds of gulls indicate the beach is near. Madeline is on a street corner under a sign saying Anchorage Road. She looks furious and frustrated. She pulls out her phone, punches in a number.
Not here, Marcus. It's the wrong bloody house. The wrong bloody house. Do you hear me? The old guy must have got it wrong. They haven't come to the beach at all. Stupid, useless old moron. Yes, I'm upset, Marcus. I'm upset because I've wasted half the fucking day. I have to find them today before anyone else does. What other addresses did you get for them? Then look now. How many houses can one person have anyhow? Fucking real estate agents. Townhouse, beach house. Where is their other place, Marcus? You're kidding me. Tooleybuck? Where the fuck is Tooleybuck? On the Murray? I am on Phillip fucking Island, Marcus. Do you know how long it would take me to drive there? No, Marcus. I don't want you to calculate that for me. I want you to get stuffed. Shit, shit, shit. Now what are you going to do, Maddie Scott? Now what? Get a grip and think, that's what.
Madeline paces and thinks. An idea occurs to her. It's not ideal, but she's running out of options. She takes a breath and punches in another number. On the opposite side of the stage, the lights come up on Murphy and Harmon's room. One of Harmon's phones is ringing. He looks at it a moment before answering.
Hello?
Jake Ross. How are you, Jake?
Harmon signals to Murphy to switch on call tracing equipment and listen in on a pair of headphones.
Who's asking?
Don't you recognise me, Jakey? It hasn't been that long, surely. Or are you just playing hard to get?
You? I thought we weren't going to communicate with each other again. I thought you said it would be safer not to.
I know what I said.
And what do you want? I don't need any more trouble, not after last time.
Maybe I just missed you, Jakey. We did good work together.
Pull the other one, why don't you?
Well, how about this? I need your help, Jakey. Paul Carmichael's out. You know what that means.
Out? What do you mean out?
Escaped. Somebody helped him. Must be someone with good connections in Thailand because he vanished from prison like smoke. Not a trace. Rumour is he's heading back home.
What's that got to do with me? I didn't steal the money. I didn't set him up. You did. I didn't even know about him until the job was all over.
But you helped me chip the cash around, Jakey boy, didn't you? You hid the tracks, and you got well paid for doing it.
So what do you expect me to do now? It's not my problem Paul Carmichael's on the loose. There's nothing to tie him back to me, only you. And why would you want
It will become your problem if he gets to the right people here and tells them his version of events. It will become your problem because I'll drop you in it, Jake. And I'll embellish the story, Jake. I'll make you the prime mover, Jake. Theft, kidnapping, false imprisonment, money laundering. And poor misguided me, first duped and then threatened by a plausible accountant with a penchant for sexual intimidation. I'll throw that in for a bit of tabloid interest.
You can't.
Watch me.
Why did you have to involve the poor sap anyway? Why not just take the money and disappear yourself? You went to a hell of a lot of trouble to screw him over, didn't you? Getting rid of him in a Thai prison, under a fake name as a drug dealer? What did he do? Knock you back in the lunchroom one day?
Oh, the doggy wants to bite, does he? What I do and why I do it is none of your fucking business, Jake Ross. Now listen to me, and listen good. Paul Carmichael is going to disappear again, this time permanently. I need another sum of money to cover my expenses, and you're going to cover my tracks, just like before.
How much?
2 mil. I'll send you the access codes as soon as I hang up, and I want the money out of whichever accounts you like and squeaky clean for my use within 24 hours.
2 million? 24 hours? You're kidding me. I have to plan this out properly.
You will provide this within 24 hours, or your name will be linked to the murder of Paul Carmichael, as well as the original theft and kidnapping. You know I can do it, Jake.
You bitch.
I'm texting you the codes now and the account where I want it deposited. 24 hours, Jakey boy. Off you go. Right. Codes and accounts. Done. Boy, Jakey. Now.
Madeline thinks, looks at her phone again, shakes her head in anger, and begins to type an email.
All right, you bastard, you'll get your money. And God help you if I ever catch up with you, whoever you are.
She hits send and exits. Lights go down from where she was standing. The email pings into the computer in front of Murphy.
Bingo, boss. The lady wants to play.
We return to the summer house. From the light outside, it's clearly very early in the morning. Kate enters and stands in the middle of the room, slowly turning on the spot. She is considering something. She goes to the front door, tries it. It's locked. She unlocks it, tries it. It opens. She closes it and locks it, tries it. It's locked. She grabs a chair and puts it in front of the door. She methodically moves around the room, checking the windows, working out line of sight, what someone looking in would be able to see. She goes into the kitchen and rummages through a drawer. She pulls out wire and wire cutters. She uses the wire to twist around the window fixtures to secure them. She stops at a bigger window, thinks about it, then puts the wire and wire cutters down. She goes into the kitchen and puts a pot on the stovetop, pouring a lot of oil into the pot. She starts the element under the pot to heat it. She opens another drawer, pulling out 2 big knives, yes to both, lays them on the bench.
Good morning.
Hey,
You're up early.
couldn't sleep.
Were you thinking about your father?
Actually, I was thinking about English.
English?
English class at school.
Oh,
Last term, we were studying movies, and my teacher said that most of her favourite movies were ones that, she would never be allowed to show in class. Ones like, Clockwork Orange, Seven Samurai, Natural Born Killers, Trainspotting, Brazil.
I see what she meant.
I guess. But how shocking could they be? It's the 21st century. Like, have you seen the internet? There's worse things on there, believe me. You should see some of the stuff that the boys at school send me on my phone.
So I've heard. It was definitely a little different when I was your age, but I still had to deal with my fair share of juveniles. They'll grow out of it. Well, some of them will.
Anyway, the day after English, I downloaded all the movies she mentioned. Brazil was weird. Trainspotting made me laugh. Natural Born Killers was noisy and quiet and kind of sweet by the end. I loved Clockwork Orange, but I thought the other films that the director did weren't as exciting or as colourful.
Was it aware you were so interested in film?
How would you know? It was Dad got me into them. He was a massive fan, and then so was I. It wasn't a Saturday afternoon if he and I weren't lying on the couch together watching something. And it didn't matter if it was something he'd seen 1,000 times. He was always so excited to put it on. He was probably the most excited about the films that he had seen 1,000 times. Then at night, when we didn't have a Nancy Drew to read, we'd talk about a movie we'd seen and just start inventing what happens next, Every night, I'd fall asleep to his voice, making up sequels. Stupid stuff about rocket ships, mysteries, secret agents, dangerous adventures. I loved it.
I believe you.
My teacher also mentioned another film called Straw Dogs. Have you seen it?
No, but it caused a bit of a stir when it was released, I think.
Yeah, I read about that too. But I was lying in bed this morning and I couldn't stop thinking about the ending. So, you don't need to know what happens earlier, but basically there's this bit where a disabled guy gets threatened by people in the town, and a professor and his wife, who have recently bought a house there, rescue the man and protect him at their place. So it's the professor in this big house with his wife and the man against this big mob. So he has to do things to the house to be able to defend it.
At some point during this explanation, Karen and Trevor enter quietly, stepping just inside the space. They watch Kate with grave concern.
He blocks and bars doors, seals the windows, and any other ways in as best he can. He finds anything that can be used as a weapon, including boiling oil on the stove that he can throw if someone gets too close.
So you got up to start rigging the house to defend it?
I had to. I was just lying there wishing we could defend our house like in Straw Dogs, and I suddenly realised we could defend our house that way.
You've missed a spot, though. That window is still open.
On purpose. When the men that are coming arrive, they'll think that they can get in easy. But then when they do, boom, they've got a face full of hot oil and think twice about coming in to get us.
Clever. That's some imagination to come up with that. You really think the men are coming?
Of course they are. Dad was a good person, but he was too trusting. He would never have expected that Madeline would double-cross him and force him to fake his death. But then Madeline would know that Dad had always planned for something like that, which is why she's panicking in case certain files that Dad saved that she thought were destroyed, which could incriminate her, are released to the press. It's why he wrote to me and told me to come here. He wants us to find the files before Madeline and her hit squad can get their hands on them.
Now Kate has one of the knives and is looking carefully out the window.
Stay tuned for the final episode of Missing Paul, which will be released later in September. You might want to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on any of Malvern's offerings. My name is Andrew Ferguson. I'm president of Malvern Theatre Company, and on behalf of the company, I would like to thank Mandy Murray for her narration, the entire cast, and also in particular Horrie Leek, who instigated the writing of the script and who has assembled our cast for this performance. We look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.